Hi everyone, it's Susan. Thanks for stopping by. My daughter recently gave me 12 mini Lawn Fawn ink pads, and for today I couldn't decide what colors to use, so I decided to use them all. And the perfect technique for that is color blocking, so let's dive right in. Now I started with a plan, sort of. I don't really always have a plan, but I knew I was going to do color blocking and I wanted to use the inks that I had set out there on the side. So to start with, I grabbed my Post-it removable labeling tape and just inked or masked off a corner there. I used my picket fence life-changing blending brushes and I was going to do like a rainbow order. But you'll see that kind of goes out the window when I add the rest of my colors in, because originally I think there's only 7 there, and then I ended up using them all. And I do speed this up a lot because it's a long video and it would take forever to watch otherwise. Love this part when you pull back the tape and you see that nice crisp clean line. I love that part every time. So like I said, I didn't really have a plan, so I'm just trying to figure out now where I'm going to put the next block of color and going to mask that off so I can add the inks. I'm going to try and go around in a rainbow order, and I start that way, and then you'll see that I add more colors later. This is a really great technique. You could use as many colors as you want. You could use like 3 colors even, or 2 colors, and just block them in like in a striped pattern. You can emboss a background first and then do your color blocking over top of it. You could color block a panel, cut it up, and then put that on your card. You can even add it with craft foam so you could have some dimension. There's all kinds of things you could do with this technique. I really recommend it. It's fun. I'd like to do some different shapes, I think. Like circles. I think circles would be fun. Okay, so for the rest of this card, it's the same process. Mask off an area, blend on your ink, and peel it off, and move on to the next section. I just keep doing that till I fill up the card. You can see the inks I'm using off to the side there. I've got the lids so you can see the colors, but I will have them all listed over on my blog for you. I love how that first one turned out, but I had an idea while I was talking earlier. I said about doing some embossing and then color blocking. Gave me an idea. So I stamped this girl. She's from the Coffee Understands stamp set by Picket Fence Studios. I stamped her on a panel, And then I stamped her on that labeling tape as well to cut out a mask and covered her up. Then I'm going to cut apart a stamp set, a sentiment stamp set, and because I wanted it to be stacked on top of each other, the words, and it wasn't like that. So I'm going to stamp it with Versamark ink, heat set it with white embossing powder, and then I'm going to do my color blocking. I'm not sure if you can see it in there, but I did not stamp them perfectly straight. I did that sort of cattywampus look on purpose. Because it's so hard to get things straight, I figured why bother? This way it looks like I intended it, and I did. Okay, so this next part is where the fun begins. So I can see the words. You may not be able to see them, but I used that masking tape, that labeling tape, and I put it right underneath where the embossed words are. And that is the bottom of the color block. And then I added a second one and added my ink. And I'm going to do that for each line of the words. I'll add the piece of labeling tape right underneath the line of the words. So it looks like those words are sitting on a shelf kind of thing. I love when the white just pops through the color there as you're adding the ink. It's such a sense of fulfillment, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it, but it really feels good. And after each section of color, I use a microfiber cloth and I go and I wipe off the ink that is sitting on top of the words. Because it's embossed, it doesn't absorb the ink, so you need to wipe it off and it makes it a bright white again. Here's a good little tip. I think I saw this on Christina Warner's blog, but I used the piece of labeling tape and stuck it to my finger, and used that when I was touching the paper so that my inky fingers didn't transfer ink to other areas. Now I've finished all the color blocking and I'm going to pull the mask off of the girl. All right, so let's make these into cards. The first one, I ran it through my die cutting machine with the stitched rectangle dies from Lawn Fawn, two dies stacked together, and that way I get that frame that you see me gluing there. So the first piece I added to the card base with craft foam, and then this piece I just put liquid glue on it and then tucked it in around there so it looks like it's popped out of the frame a little bit. Kind of like the way that looks. For this one, I ran it through my die cutting machine with the stitched rectangle frame and just added it to the card base with craft foam. Really simple. So those are the two cards for today. I hope you give this technique a try. Thanks for stopping by.